Hello, my name is Andy and I am the village idiot, a man with a car and a GoPro and an unhealthy amount of time on my hands. Welcome back to the district of West Lindsey, and this one is probably going to be one of the strangest videos you've ever seen, and that's because I am currently stood in this civil parish, which is nothing out of the ordinary. However, most of this video will be filmed outside the parish boundaries, because if I kept this to just inside the parish boundaries, there would be nothing to talk about. And the reason for that is because most of this is either private land or it's arable land that I will not be able to access or film in any way, shape or form. I'm close to Lincoln in this one. Welcome to the parish of GRANGE de Lings. GRANGE de Lings is situated 3 miles north from the city centre of the county town of Lincoln. Riseholme, Netleham, Scotham, Dunholme, Welton, North Carlton, South Carlton and Scampton are all neighbouring parishes. Here's Horncastle Lane, and it's not actually within the parish, or at least the northern side of it isn't. The boundary runs between the road you can see here and the houses on the right hand side down the grass verge. The A15 is definitely within it though. This is a cycle path and a footpath that runs from GRANGE de Lings to Lincoln along the left hand side as you head south. The majority of the parish is farmland, and as you'll see later, there's virtually nothing within these boundaries. Most of the interesting stuff lies just outside. GRANGE de Lings is often quoted as the address for Lincolnshire Showground, just off the west of the A15. But the parish actually lies entirely east of the A15, and the Lincolnshire Showground is in the parish of North Carlton. The Showground is one of the two bases for the Riseholme College of Agriculture, part of the University of Lincoln. Just outside the parish boundaries is this roundabout where the A15 meets the A1500. The A1500 we've met before in Sturton by Stow, and via the ferry to Littleborough it's the same road we met in Sturton le Steeple, or at least the eastern side of it. In terms of demographics, all I can give you is the area of the parish, which is nearly 3.5 kilometres squared. There's no other demographic information available. There are a few businesses within the parish, including Cathedral View Kennels, which is seen here on the right. Okay, so we're back at the car. That is pretty much all the walking I can do in this one. Everything else is going to be using the car. And the first thing to go to is an oil well, which actually does fall within these boundaries. Let's go and find that. Here's the oil well behind these gates, in the north of the parish next to the boundary with Welton, only just inside the parish boundaries. You'll notice it's the same company that we saw in the Treswell episode with the Nodding Donkeys, Island Gas Limited. Horncastle Lane forms the northern boundary with Welton at this point, and then it cuts southwards across the old runways of RAF Dunhome Lodge, of which the western end fell within GRANGE de Lings. RAF Dunham Lodge was originally a grass airfield used by the RAF during 1941 and 1942 for use by Handley Page Hampden aircraft from nearby RAF Scampton. It was officially opened as an RAF station in September 1942 as part of RAF Bomber Command. Okay, so we've actually come out of the parish boundaries now. We're actually in the parish of Dunholme here, and I've stopped here because this is important. The western end of the former RAF Dunham falls within Grange to Lings. That's somewhere over there. The boundary is somewhere over there. And what you're looking at here, these concrete strips are actually the old runways. This is one of them, which continues over the road that way, and in fact the road here was a runway as well. There you go. And I just noticed something rather cool as well. I'll just wait for this bike to come past. On this gate there's a poppy and a cross. We're getting quite close to Remembrance Sunday now, so well, at least at the time that this video was filmed anyway. It'll have been and gone by the time this video comes out, but it's important that these RAF bases are not forgotten. They were very, very important in the war, and there's plenty of these all over Lincolnshire, and most of them look like this now. The main occupier of the station was 44 Squadron, with the Avro Lancaster 4-engine heavy bomber, which moved from RAF Waddington in May 1943, and it stayed here until it moved to RAF Spilsby in September of 1944. There were 3 hard runways. Bits of the runway still exist, and the site is now used for farming. But from 1948, the site was host to motorcycle and car racing until 1959. The parish boundary briefly meets Scothan, and a small section of the parish extends between Scothan and Netlham to meet the A46, which it follows for around 200 metres. Horncastle Lane, however, brings us to the A46 between Netlham and Welton. We're now driving through part of Netlham Parish. Here's the A46, which is the main Lincoln to Grimsby Road. Now we're heading up Hall Lane, and presumably this is named as such because of Riseholme Hall, the birthplace of English travel writer, novelist and explorer Rosita Forbes, also known as Joan Rosita Tor. From about 1840 until 1887, it served as the official residence for the Bishop of Lincoln. It was subsequently privately owned, and after World War II, the building was occupied by the Lindsey College of Agriculture, now better known, of course, as the Riseholme College of Agriculture. What few houses there are within Grange to Lings come in at an average value of £232,000. Grange to Lings has no parish church of its own, rather it shares St Mary's with neighbouring Riseholme. It's looked after by Netlham Parish because that's where the vicar is based. In this regard, Grange to Lings is known as an extra parochial district. For statistical and admin purposes, it's joined with Riseholme, similar to the religious setup. Okay, so the next plan of action is to go back into the car and drive the other way down Hall Lane and end this video where the road meets the A46, because there's nothing else really here. I've filmed pretty much every single house this place has got, apart from the ones that are private access. So yeah, I'm just going to take the car back down Hall Lane, capture a few other bits and bobs that I saw coming up here, and then end this at the A46, I think. Sounds like a plan. Let's go. Off Hall Lane is the Bridleway B&B, a country retreat less than 3 miles from the city of Lincoln. The property is hidden away down this bridle track, nestled beside an oak wood. Moving back towards the south, we pass Hood's Farm, which has a history of threshing. Now we come to Grange to Lings XC, which is a show jumping arena, and it has 180 of the very best cross-country fences. Suitable for all levels of training, the jumps are laid out in an ideal environment for teaching. Here are some old hall gates. Presumably these belong to Riseholme Hall. Riseholme Hall is an 18th century country house designed by William Welton and is a Grade 2 listed building. The grounds of the hall are also Grade 2 listed. Hall Lane links the A15 to the A46. The Sustrans National Cycle Route 1 passes through here. It also passes some of the UK's most stunning scenery because it runs in sections from Dover up to the Highlands of Scotland. So we're actually outside the parish boundaries again here. We're in Riseholme, I think, here. This is the junction where Riseholme College of Agriculture, there's a sign for it. It's not actually, this sign's actually wrong because the College of Agriculture is that way and this is pointing up here, but it's the sign's obviously been knocked at some point because also GRANGE de Lings is definitely not that way, it's down there. So yeah, we're outside the parish boundaries again here. I think we're in Riseholme, and GRANGE de Lings doesn't have a village sign, so I've had to use that for the thumbnail. And it also, of course, because it's so small, doesn't have a parish notice board, which means I don't really have anywhere to put one of these. But considering this is the best I think I'm going to do, this is perhaps the best place to put one, just here. At least people know now, if they pass this sign, there's a video up on YouTube of GRANGE de Lings made by me, TVI. Okay, time to give you guys a picture bit. Here it comes right now. Now, because GRANGE de Lings is such a small parish, there's not really much to give you in today's picture bit. So I thought I'd bring up this map of the parish to show you the boundaries and some of the things that I've actually filmed in this video. And you can see just how much is not within the boundaries. The yellow circles show RAF Dunholme Lodge, Riseholme Hall, the Lincolnshire Showground, and the gates that we've just seen are in the red circle. And the green circles show the houses, the oil well, and the arena, which do actually fall within the parish boundaries. And here we are at the junction with the A46. This is where Hall Lane runs into the major road between Lincoln and Grimsby, the A46, there you go. And of course, this also is not within the parish of GRANGE de Lings, it's just outside of it, but it didn't make any sense to not include this junction in this video because if it was involved with Riseholme, it wouldn't make any sense really. Riseholme's a mile or so that away. And that's a parish that's coming up soon in West Lindsey. But for now, this has been the parish of GRANGE de Lings with a little bit extra as well. That's not my fault. Most of it I can't really access. And the bits I can access are restricted in some ways too, aren't they? So, small one, small parish, not really much I can show you in it to be fair, but there you go. Some of them are like that. And this has been the parish of GRANGE de Lings, and I've been Andy, also known as the Village Idiot, and I am out.